All right, good morning, everybody. First off, thank you to MediaPost for throwing a heck of an event here. I've been having a phenomenal time. It's my first of, I hope, very many. Thank you to all of you for showing up bright and early despite all the fun we had at the arcade last night. That was an absolute blast. As was just mentioned, I'm Jameson Packer, and I'm here with Marigold. We are a home for every marketer, and we believe that great marketing isn't just about conversions, but it's about true connections. And we offer tools to help you get there from every point of the life cycle, from subscription acquisition all the way up to loyalty programs, dynamic engagement, gamified experiences, and of course, cross-channel messaging, SMS, in-app, mobile, and the reason why we're all here, email, the crown jewel of it all. And that's what I'd like to talk with you all about today a little bit. Messaging innovation, effectively engaging with consumers wherever, whenever, in a post-pandemic world. So to get us started here, let's talk a little bit about the path to purchase. At Marigold, we conduct an annual study called the Consumer Trends Index. And in our most recent study, we found out that it's clear that consumer behaviors are really changing rapidly, especially in the post-pandemic world. And the buyer journey has shifted to become more digital, to become more multi-channel, and more consumer-directed than ever before. And in the middle of all of this change that we're seeing, email has really emerged as that key channel in that omni-channel experience, a go-to in that path to purchase. And in fact, 50% of folks say that they have bought directly from an email in the last couple days. In the last few months there. And so, in addition to that, the data reveals that the majority of consumers look to email from the brands that they love and from those folks who do a good job of appealing to them in contextually relevant ways to learn more about the things that they want to buy and to facilitate that buyer journey. So they're looking for education. They're looking for that pathway to become easier for them. So personalization here is really important to consumers, and to the point that people are really willing to provide information about themselves in order to receive more relevant, more tailored, more personalized offers. And it's a win-win for both marketers and consumers. And so what does messaging innovation require in an always-on consumer? Given that as the backdrop there, I'd like to talk about what it takes to engage with this self-directed, with this omni-channel, and with this always-on consumer. And I'll cover it here in three topics. The first of which is embracing the ever-evolving path to purchase, understanding what people want, those expectations, and then applying best practices in order to effectively engage with them whenever, wherever. So in that first topic there, the evolving path to purchase, during the pandemic, we saw that 90% of folks changed the way they buy, how they buy, and where they buy. And while some of that pre-pandemic behavior has returned, most of it has not. And combine that with the fact that we're now seeing data ingested in volumes and velocities faster than ever before. There's a rapidly changing technological landscape out there, and this has really culminated in the perfect storm for marketers. So marketers today need to work harder to know more about their customers and to help them along that path to purchase in contextually relevant ways over time. And that's the key point there, over time. Not a single campaign, but a series of interconnected experiences and interactions that matter to the consumer. This is the foundation of what we take very seriously at Marigold, of relationship marketing. So to put a sharper edge on this now, due to the reduced access of supply chain and shortages during the pandemic, it really forced people to try new brands, to shop new ways, and in many cases display what we would consider to be non-loyal behavior, going outside of the box from what we saw previously. And while digital shopping and buying continues to grow year over year, and I'm sure that's a heavy focus for lots of folks here in the crowd, the reality is that 3/4 of people still make those purchases in a physical environment. That number, varies more or less depending on the goods or services you're providing, but you get the idea there that this is a key component of the buying journey. And so from a marketing perspective then, as marketers here, that path to purchase is more difficult to predict and detect. And the job of the marketer then is becoming more and more challenging. So in the past, the purchase funnel was fairly straightforward. It was much more linear. And today it's very chaotic. So it's a little bit muddled now. So how do we kind of clear off that fog from the windshield so that we can drive our goals and objectives forward? And thinking about it then from the consumer's perspective, what do they really want? What are those expectations? And frankly put, they want everything. They want brands to anticipate their needs. They want to remove friction from that buying journey. They want to be presented with the right products, the right services at that right moment of purchase. And they want all of this to be done relevant to them without being overbearing or creepy, if I can use that word. They want more than just the products and services. They want those soft, intangible benefits as well. That safety, that good value, that quality. If we're thinking about retail locations as well, they want benefits like order online, pick up in store. These are now becoming table stakes in that buyer journey. But they also want experiences and to know that the brand resonates with them and that they share the same values. So there's really three pillars to making this all work here. The first of which is show me, you know me. And so when they came to us as brands, when consumers come to us with that initial touch point, they want us to honor that intention that they gave us, and they want us to respect the reason that they came to us in the first place. And so when we go and message them and target them, give them things that honor that sort of trust that they put in us. The second one then is making it worth my while, and that's the value exchange. So providing those promotions or ways that we can collect information from them, and then we can give valuable services back, so that it's very clear that it's a give-give situation. And then lastly, when a brand does these things correctly, they are rewarded with that brand love, repeat purchases, and of course, improved margins, which is what we're all after. So moving on to pillar 2 here, understanding what people want, so that expectation. And so in the shadow of the pandemic and all of those shifts to behavior, to expectations, and to consumer confidence levels, combined with the fact that we're dealing with a potentially challenging economy going forward, when times get tough financially, consumers tend to buy differently. They tighten their belts, they focus on price, they're open to lower cost substitutes, they might look around a little bit. But the headline, the big point here that I want you to walk away with is that this isn't necessarily a threat. We view this as a strong opportunity to deepen that relationship with folks that we already have in the pipe, and to deepen that journey with them, sell them additional products, and make them more dependent on us. Now, how are we gonna do that? By applying the best practices for engaging with them. Oop, did I skip ahead too much there? No. Oh, I just got my slides out of order. Oops. To be competitive, though, brands must drive relevant and meaningful engagement throughout the entirety of the customer journey. And so our data shows that 91% of folks are more likely to shop with brands who relevantly message them in in channels that they prefer. And 1 in 3 folks will defect from brands if they don't get them. So if you deliver a message in the wrong way, at the wrong place, at the wrong time, that can be perceived as very much in a negative light by consumers. At the same time as this, the data shows that personalization and real-time offers will improve those results. So not just personalization at the time of send when we launch our campaigns, but then also on open personalization, which is one of our products, Live Content, does very well. I like to say that it gives the gift of take back, so you don't have to live in fear of hitting send anymore. And so you can switch up messaging elements after that message has already gone out. And in my personal experience, I had this very recently shopping for some Black Friday deals just the other week. I got an email offer saying that there was a great deal, a lightning deal to take advantage of. But when I went to the website, it had already expired. It had already been fulfilled. There was nothing left. And that created friction. So instead of buying that and all the other items that I had wanted to, because of that disappointment, I ended up leaving that website with an empty cart and not making a purchase. And so with that gift of take back, we can update those emails post-send to display other offers, as well as other items that might be relevant to our consumers, removing that friction from that buying journey. And now on to the best practices for effectively engaging with consumers wherever, whenever. I'll provide a few salient examples here from some email programs that we see live in the wild there. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about the customer journey itself. And so there's obviously lots of moments of truth that we have available here to us, where the journey has options to be personalized in many ways that can make a difference in that buying experience of the consumer. But given that the consumers are always on, that journey is complex, we're just going to focus on a few key areas here where we see the highest impact. And those are the welcome onboarding series, where we see much higher engagement than traditional campaigns, abandoned cart, abandoned browse, and then lastly, transactional messaging. And then right before we get to those examples themselves, I just want to talk a little bit about the inbox intimacy conundrum. So email by our data sources is a very trusted channel by consumers. They look forward to receiving messaging from brands that they love. But consumers regard their inbox as an extension of their personal space, while us as marketers view it as a vehicle for pushing promotions. So how do we honor that trust? How do we respect that distance, that privacy that consumers want, while also moving our objectives forward? And here are some good examples from out in the wild of a welcome onboarding series that do this quite successfully. So we really want to be transparent upfront because this is a perfect opportunity to incentivize, to educate, and to remind consumers of all that we have to offer. And we want to do it in a way of what is immediately available for them to take advantage of. So if you have a social following, if you have a loyalty program, if you have a blog, other promotional content, right in that welcome series, put a call to action, ask for that like, ask for that subscribe, send them to the website and get them taking that action immediately. On the abandoned cart front, we see that these campaigns tend to have an open rate of above 40%, which is phenomenal in the world of email. We see greater conversions when brands implement behavior-based triggers. So setting up these advanced triggers to send personalized emails with all of those implicit and explicit data points the consumer has provided with us previously in the journey with special offers and assistance based on those customer actions. And we can also provide gentle nudges such as, this product is sold out, or your cart is soon to be abandoned here, because folks really need that gentle reminder. Abandoned browse here, we see 2 times more revenue for emails coming from abandoned browse campaigns when done successfully. 2 really strong strategies. One, the second column there is leveraging price drops. So kind of good news in the inbox. If something you've been really eyeing up has then been reduced in price, you can get folks to take action much quicker by telling them that there has been a discount or a price reduction, and then providing alternative suggestions as well to the browsed item. And we make this strategy incredibly easy at Marigold with our machine learning algorithms, where you can just plug in our context algorithm, for example, and let's say you're shopping for product A, and we can dynamically, automatically recommend product B based on your entire customer set of products that similar folks like that individual user had browsed. Because the end goal here really is not to make them buy product A, it's to get them to that perfect product fit. All right. And then just to wrap it up, transactional emails, a few quick things. Adding in dynamic incentives, dynamic progress bars, leveraging the transactional email to collect preferences, and we can use live content to do this directly within the email. So as we say, as your order shipped, we can also have them click directly on images within that to say, hey, what other types of products or categories are you interested in? What other types of experiences or services? And then that gets written back to the user profile to help incentivize that next purchase. And lastly, and this one often gets overlooked, simply expressing gratitude and appreciation for their business because they trust you as a brand, and we want to honor and respect the decision they made to shop with you. So wrapping it up, with the understanding that the buyer journey has changed, it's our goal as marketers to meet the consumer where they are and to create authentic moments that matter. And to do that, many brands are consolidating their tech stacks to embrace the ever-evolving path to purchase by providing personalized promotions in contextually relevant ways and applying best practices and deploying new strategies to engage with consumers wherever, whenever. Thank you very much. My name is Jameson Packer with Marigold, and I appreciate your time.